Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Hello viewers, Jai Guru. Today I am there before you with the last or the concluding part of the Discourse of Sadguru Maharshi Mehi Paramhans Maharaj, whose 5 parts have already been posted. We have seen in the previous episode that the Upanishad advises us to practice meditation or concentration upon a single element if we want our mind to wilt like a lotus flower dudge during winter season. Because meditation is all about removing the veils or the covers over the soul so that it can see itself as well as God. That is, the soul in an effort to be freed, to be emancipated, to attain salvation, and to overcome the vicious cycle of pleasures and sorrows. It has to get rid of the layers, various layers which keep covering it, and mainly the mind. So the process of meditation consists in starting with mentally chanting a short mantra as taught by a true guru. Then we have to focus mentally on a given form of the one whom we revere, whom we adore, in whom we have complete faith. And even then we had seen that Lord Krishna teaches Uddhav to start with his full body, meditating on the full body, and then shrink the vision, concentrate it only over his face. So the idea is that we are going to reduce the size of the form on which we are meditating. But as we had seen in the previous part, that even if we are concentrating on the face of a person, it is not, as the Upanishad advises us, meditating on a single element. Because the form has got a number of parts or organs. Even if we are talking of face, then it has got, parts such as nose, then eyes, ears, cheeks, etc. And ultimately it becomes many parts. And what we have to do? We have to meditate on a single element. So what is that? It means that there must be something else beyond even this mental visualization. We have to do something more. There has to be something other than this, focusing on which would result in absolute collection, concentration, or shrinkage. And it is in this context that Kabir Sahab said, as Maharshi Mehi says in the next part of his discourse, by meditating in the inner sky or void which stills everybody's mind, be enthroned in the realm of soul within. In the 11th skand or book of the Srimad Bhagavat, Lord Shri Krishna teaches Uddhav, collect your awareness which is scattered in all directions at one place and think of me only. Then collect your concentration away from my different organs to focus on my smiling face only. When your attention gets focused on my face, remove it from there also and still it in the inner void or sky. What is meditating in the inner void or Shunya Dhyan? Shunya means void. There must be a place in the void or the inner sky. Oh, that is such an excellent place which exists for sure but occupies no amount of space, length, breadth, or thickness. Well, what is that? That is an absolute point. You cannot draw a point in the outside gross world or space. When you would place yourself at such a place which exists but occupies no space, then complete concentration or single pointedness will happen. This also is that practice of meditation upon a single element. By meditating, concentrating on a single point is tantamount to meditating upon a single element. When this happens, all our lusts and desires for enjoyment of sensory objects or sensory enjoyments would die, just as the lotus does during the season of winter. We should first practice these grosser forms of meditation, that is mental chanting and mental visualization, and then practice subtle or fine meditation, which is meditating on the absolute point, because the ability to write finer letters comes by only after we have practiced writing coarser or bigger or big-sized letters first. That is, when we are practicing mental chanting and mental visualization of the form of our revered deity or guru, then we are practicing grosser forms of meditation, what he is trying to say. And after we have, say, matured, we have commanded these two practices, then we can easily proceed further and meditate, become fit to meditate on a single point. So this is just as when a kid starts writing letters, alphabets or digits, then initially he writes very big A so that it fills one full page or slate. But as he practices, he is capable of writing small alphabets, small letters. So this comes with practice. Similarly, he is saying that by practicing grosser forms of meditation and then practicing subtle or fine meditation. Why? Because the ability to write finer, just as the ability to write finer letters comes by only after we are practicing writing big-sized letters first. Similarly, the ability to do subtle meditation comes after we have practiced grosser forms of meditation. Single pointedness of attention, which breeds knowledge and liberation, is the essence of meditation. This was explained to you. This is again a saying of an Upanishad. Explaining this, Maharshi Mehi says, Dhyan or meditation gives rise to Gyan or knowledge. Dhyan gives rise to Gyan or meditation gives rise to knowledge, and knowledge begets peace. Meditation here means concentrating upon a point. Single pointedness leads to stilling of mind, and if you remember in the beginning we had referred to a saying from scripture which says that there are two ways of controlling the mind. One is by controlling our breath, and second is by controlling our desires, that is by practicing meditation. And here that is said that single pointedness leads to stilling of mind, to complete concentration. How could such a state be brought about? Two lines, you see, intersect in a point. Two lines intersect into a point. Converge the currents of your vision which are scattered in two eyes into a single point. This calls for extreme focusing of sight. Our sight, which we use most of the time, is scattered or spread out usually. Another type of sight is collected or focused sight. One is scattered sight and another is collected or focused sight. Another type of sight is collected or focused sight. Focused sight is that due to which we can see that object only which we want to see, nothing else, no other object. Just as a perfect archer or a shooter would see only his target and nothing else. Once, teacher Dronacharya, his name was, took the Kuru princess, royal princess, on a trip to a forest after he had given them a lot of training of archery. He wanted to test how far they had progressed. So he took the princess on a trip to a forest. There he asked all the princes except Arjun to aim at a bird sitting in a tree. He called all the brothers, and there were 105. He called all the brothers one by one to take aim and asked, "What is it that you see?" One of the princes said, "I can see the tree, its branches, leaves, and the bird." The other told, "I can see the bird along with the branches." This way he went on to ask all of them, but could not get satisfactory answer from any one of them. Finally he asked Arjun to take the aim and repeated the question. Arjun replied, "O Master, I am seeing the bird only, nothing else." The teacher remarked, "Well, your aim is right. This is how our aim should be." On an earlier occasion, Drona himself, the trainer, had displayed his own proficiency at archery. Once it so happened that the Kaurava and Pandava brothers, all the princes, were playing with a ball. Incidentally, the ball fell into a well nearby. The princes were at their wits' end, knowing not how to retrieve the ball from the well. As coincidence would have it, Drona happened to pass by and saw the puzzled faces of the princes. As he went to them, they told him the story and inquired of him whether he could be of any help. Drona shot an arrow into the ball, then shot another arrow so that it hit the bottom or rear end of the first arrow which had pierced into the ball and got stuck. Then he shot a third arrow to pierce and stick to the back end of the second arrow. This way he went on shooting arrows till the last arrow came up to the top of the well. Then holding the top arrow, he slowly pulled the ball out of the well. How focused his sight might have been to be able to hit into the tail of an arrow. How collected was Drona's sight. Make your sight pointed in a similar way. In spite of having explained that, the need of Guru's guidance still remains. Keep your attention focused, said Sant Kabir, at the holy feet of your Guru in the same way as you would do while passing a thread through the hole of a needle. Single pointedness results in absolute concentration, which causes ascension, rising, enabling one to move on to a higher level or stage. This way, it would be possible to transcend all illusory sheaths Kaivalya, or the stage of pure consciousness, would be attained, God would be seen. Just as we cannot see a thing if our eyes are wrapped with a bandage, in the same way we cannot see God without removing all the veils or bandages of the bodies and illusion over the soul. One calls himself my devotee and yet nurtures expectations from human beings. Tell me then, where is the faith? Asks Lord Sri Ram. What he means to say that if you call yourself my devotee, then all your hopes, everything should be focused on me only. You should not have expectations from anywhere else. Such should not be the case. That is, have a firm faith that God would be found within only. What Guru says, have firm faith in his sayings, in his teachings. Take your time in selecting a Guru. Okay, do all the investigations that you need to, but once you have found a true Guru, now you must have firm faith in his teachings. Now no more wavering. No more doubts. Have a firm faith as Guru teaches that God would be found within only, not without. In the outside world, all the things are perceivable with our senses. That which is within cannot be perceived through senses. The object of eyes is form. You cannot perceive sound with the help of eyes. A given sense organ can perceive only that which is its own object. That is, eyes cannot hear or smell, nose cannot hear or see, skin cannot see or hear. Every organ, sense organ, can perceive only one object, that is its subject. Likewise, God is not the object of any sense organ. He can be perceived by the soul alone. Therefore, the way to God's worship should be such, that is the technique, whatever technique is being taught to us, we should keep in mind that it should be such that he attains the state of Kaivalya, where the soul is left alone, freed of all the veils, all the sheaths, all the coverings, and then he would not have to wander anywhere else, as God will be realized. Satsang, or spiritual association, motivates or inspires one towards righteous conduct. Therefore, one should regularly attend satsang. One should serve Guru, because it is impossible to advance on the path of spirituality without Guru's support. But the Guru should be truly a Guru, not a fake one. Guru's own conduct should be in conformity with what he preaches to others. If he doesn't himself practice what he preaches, his downfall is imminent, and the company of such a Guru would not bear desired fruits. We must practice meditation daily. These are 5 do's: to have unwavering faith in one God, firm conviction of realizing Him within, selfless service to a true Guru, satsang, and regular and rigorous meditation. We all must follow these. So that was one of very rare and very meaningful discourse of Sadguru Maharshi Mehi Paramhans Ji Maharaj. I hope you liked the discourse. If we truly understand the import of what he's trying to say in this discourse and accordingly mold our conduct, shape our practice, then there is no doubt we'll be definitely able to reach the goal that must be the goal of each and every human being. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Jai Guru, Radha Swami, Vaheguru, Satyaram Sa, Namaste.